Happy 5th birthday to my daughter Layton. Buffalo head coach Sean McDermott has signed a multi-year contract extension, and college conferences are canceling football for the fall. All this and more in 20 seconds. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically Real broadcast sponsored by Football, Darts, and Fantasy Sports Alliance. How is everybody tonight? Like we said at the top of the show, we'd like to wish my daughter Layton a happy 5th birthday. Thank you for being on the show with me tonight, baby. What hat are you wearing? Who is that?
Daddy.
Who is it? The Titans? Yeah, why are you wearing the Titans?
I growed up.
You growed up? Well, whose team are they?
Mine.
My team. That's right. They're your team. You like the Titans, right? Who's Sissy's team? The purple team? Okay, cool. See, Chris says happy birthday. Heather says happy birthday. Say thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. How are you tonight? Hey, first we'd like to thank our broadcast sponsor, Football Darts. Football Darts is a dart game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple-target dartboard. Unlike traditional British darts, American football darts is a game that combines both the skill of darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgates, as league tournaments, or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you would like to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com. Chris says you're so cute. Are you? Yeah, you know you're cute, don't you? Yeah. Hat's a little big. So, Brandon says happy birthday. So this is my guest star for this week. If you were here last week with us and I said I was going to have a guest on with me this week, this is my guest this week. This is my daughter who just turned 5 today, Layton. So happy birthday, baby. We tried to get her to wear her own pink Titans hat that she owns. Unfortunately, in the mess that is their room, her and her sister's room, we could not find it anywhere. So we are reserved to wearing her wearing my blue Titans hat there. Yeah, she did really good, Chris, for her birthday. Damien says happy birthday as well. She made out like crazy. What was your favorite gift that you got today, though? What was it? I know what it was. What was it?
Cake.
Cake? That wasn't your favorite. What was your favorite?
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh. What color Play-Doh were you trying to make today?
Purple.
Purple, that's right. And they say an empty wagon makes a lot of noise. Listen to our partners Josh, Eric, and Brad talk fantasy football on their podcast, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. They are your one-stop shop for fantasy football information and news. The guys talk rankings, projections with a whole lot of comedy. So this week, continuing on with all of their divisional breakdown, they did the NFC West breakdown. They broke down each of the skilled positions for each of the teams in the NFC West, and then they picked the best player from the entire division at each one of their positions, and then they did the hitch your wagon, who they were going to hitch their wagon to, just like they've done on the other previous breakdown shows. Don't want to give too much more away other than that. Make sure you go out and listen to their show, the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. Go find them on Anchor FM, Sketcher, Stitcher, Apple Podcast. I don't even know them all that are out there, so make sure you go listen to all of them. If you saw the title of tonight's show, which was Fullbacks and IDPs, that was kind of play on something that they had this week when they were kind of poking a little bit of fun, saying that if anybody was going to do a fullback in an IDP league, it would be FSA. So if you want to hear that whole exchange between the guys, make sure you go out and listen to their show this week, and we would very, very much appreciate it. Are you done? Okay, bye. She lasted longer than the 3.3 seconds that I thought she was going to be up here. So her favorite gift was the Play-Doh that we got for her. You should have heard her scream when she opened up the Play-Doh. She was super excited about that. All she wanted to try to do was figure out how to make purple Play-Doh. So we told her to mix the red and the blue. Well, wouldn't you know it, there was already purple in the entire package of Play-Doh that we got for her, but she didn't realize that until just a few minutes ago, as she's had that Play-Doh since probably 3:30 this afternoon. So if you like tonight's show, and not just because my daughter's on, but any other time that you've watched the show, including tonight, and you want to follow us, there's all of our social media down there. There's the website, there's our Facebook page, there's our Instagram, there's our Twitter, there's where you can find us on YouTube. We're going to talk about the YouTube towards the end of the show, so make sure you go follow us on all of those things, and go follow the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. You can find them on @EmptyWagonFF, and then you can also go to their website, emptywagonff.com, and go check that out. MJ says happy birthday. Thank you, MJ. Appreciate it now that she's already gone. Jason says happy birthday. She's, again, already gone. She doesn't like to be on the camera as much as I do, apparently. Hey, so let's talk about some NFL news. So since we broadcast last time, you all have probably heard this already, but the Washington Football Club has released Darius Geis after he was arrested for domestic violence charges. So probably not big news to anybody out there, but since it happened, since the last time we were on the broadcast, we thought we would bring it up. And then also Sean McDermott, the head coach for the Buffalo Bills, signed a multi-year contract extension. I did not see any details for what that contract extension was. So if anybody out there on the show tonight saw any dollar amounts to that, or even dollars and years, please let us know, because I didn't see anything on that other than he signed it. Chris says anything's better than my face. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. You know, I did say one of our highest viewed shows, so it's probably the second or the third highest viewed show right now, was the interview that I did with my sister last year, just before we went live for the season, when we were doing our sponsor interviews, and she was a sponsor for us last year, and I did that one. Still one of the highest viewed shows. So I guess all it takes is a pretty face of a girl, female woman on this show, and then the ratings go crazy. So we probably need to look into that and see if we can't make that happen more often. Also on my NFL news for tonight, not really NFL related, but is really affecting the landscape of what football is looking like right now. Two right now of the major football conferences out of the Power 5, the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, have decided that they are going to cancel football for the fall. We're still waiting to see what SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC do, but the other two, Pac-12 and the Big Ten, have canceled football, at least for the fall. Maybe they're going to take a page out of the junior college books and maybe do it in the spring. Not sure. Also not sure what that's going to do to the landscape of football for drafts. If the NFL does not have a season, or if they have a shortened season, what does that do for the players that are still in college right now, who are looking to get another year played under their belts before they came out? It's going to really change the shape of what football looks like for a couple of years. So pay attention to what is going on in college. Might have a lot of leverage on what's going on at the pro level as well. Do you think Geis plays again in the NFL? This is coming from Damian Scott. You know, the Empty Wagon guys did a really good job of flushing that out on their show, and I have to agree with pretty much everything they said. If there is any video that is out there that shows what happened, and especially if it's as severe as the rumors are that we are hearing, no, he won't play again. Even if there isn't any video out there, but the charges don't get reduced from the itemized things that were on that, no, he does not play again. If there's no video proof and the charges are reduced, it's a possibility that he plays, but it wasn't just this instance that's been plaguing his career so far. Of course, you know, he already had problems in college. He's been unable to stay uninjured since he's been in the pros. And every time I see somebody draft him, especially for us that were drafting in our dynasty leagues this year, when I saw you all draft him, I was really surprised by that, because I never really thought he was going to contribute positively to his team or to the league because of the extent of his injuries. And now add this on top of it, I truly believe he probably does not play another down in the NFL. That's my hearts of hearts saying that. Chris says, I can't say too much about, I'm going to assume you're referencing my ugly face now, Chris, because I won't even let you have a photo for your profile on the website, which is true. You won't let me. And I myself have only ever seen you one time when we did that group call across, I don't know if it was Facebook or what, we did it on that one time, and I saw your face that one time, and that's it. Yeah, Chris says, replying to Damien, not with 3 cases, injury risk. I like him, but he's done. I kind of have to lean towards what Chris is saying there. I think he is probably done. Um, Jason says if the Big 12 cancels, he's going to cry because that's home area for you. So, yeah, I can see that why that's going to hurt your feelings. Big 10 already being gone. Ohio State's my wife's team. Michigan being my team. That's already done for the year. So, kind of a big deal here in our household as well. But you know what? It's probably the smartest thing to do. The crowds are probably a little bit less controllable at the college level. Of course, they are bigger stadiums, more fans, and then just what the student athletes are doing when they're not playing on the field on Saturdays and what that does when that transfers back into the classroom for them, and whatever that might even look like from the student aspect of it. Are they going to be doing things virtually or in the classroom this year based on where you're going? I know that my nephew is supposed to be going to Capital University to play offensive line, and they have pushed the start of school to the right a couple of weeks. So what does that look like for the football season for them as well? We don't know. So a lot of question marks going on right now with everything. You know, we've seen the NBA go. We've seen the Major League Baseball go. We've seen what's been going on in Major League Baseball. You know, it's affecting everything. So all we can do is kind of play the hurry up and wait game. However, we're going to talk about it towards the end of the show. FSA is still accepting membership for the 2020 season. In fact, we are pushing membership hard for the 2020 season. We are currently at 56 members in the redraft league. At the very least, we'd like to be able to hit that 60 mark. That way we can have 6 regions of 10. That would be a great number for us to have this year. And the best part is if you're still on the fence of what's going to happen with the NFL and whether you should join FSA, join. If there's a season, we'll play. If you join and there's not a season, we'll refund your money to you with no questions asked. Or if you want to hold that money here with FSA and allow it to carry over to 2021, so you're guaranteed a spot, we'll do that for you as well. So it's a win-win for you. So if you're still on the fence of whether you're going to join for the 2020 season, go ahead and do it. $50 will get you in. Sign up right there on the website. The job form is there. Click on the Join Today button or the image, and you'll be good to go. Let's see. Sonny going to likely miss the first 6 weeks of the season. What are your thoughts on Lamar Miller signing? Seems like a basic Belichick move. Yeah, you know what? I almost put that out there on the NFL news as well. I didn't know what that was going to look like because the whole Lamar Miller thing is still pending a physical. Sonny Michel is going to miss the first 6 weeks of the NFL season. I really do believe if the NFL decides that they're going to pull the plug for the year, that's probably about the week that they would do it anyways. I think we make it through 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then maybe gets to be too much, and they end up pulling the plug. So what does the Lamar Miller signing do? I don't know. Like you said, classic Belichick move probably. Still pending the physical as well. So, you know me, I don't like to really speculate whenever I talk about NFL news on here. I want to talk about the hard facts. But speculation tells me, right now until we know what's happening more in the next couple of weeks. Chris says, I have Geis, but I ain't dropping him till he's charged. If there's a chance it blows over, he has a minimum chance, but I don't hold much hope for him. Okay, so if you want to keep him on your team, in our dynasty, it is super deep leagues, so 26, 28 roster spots right now. So if you want to hold on to him, I mean, I don't think it's probably going to hurt you. I'm sure your running back situation is probably better than just Geis. I hope he wasn't your number one. Probably not going to hurt your team too much right now. Kevin Godwin on with us. Eric on with us says, nice VRV shirt. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I was going to wear tonight. In fact, I changed probably. Brandon was talking to me just before I decided to change, not even 15 minutes before the show started. Had no idea what I was going to wear, and this is what I ended up throwing on. Because we're going to talk about the VRV here in a little bit. Let's see. Damien says, I've seen guys get traded for a third-round 2021 pick with a Dynasty League. I mean, that's super interesting and surprising. Chris says if somebody offers me a third, they can have him. Yeah, if I was on the side for the pick for 2021, I would take it in a heartbeat, no doubt. Let's see, I'm hoping my empty wagon shirt gets here before we record. Yeah, you know what this is one of the things I was thinking about, Eric, the other day. I do not have an empty wagon hat, so I was going to actually go out to your guys' Squad Locker store this week and purchase one. That way I can start wearing it on the show because I don't have one. I need to get one. And I need to get one out to you, Brad, Josh, and you, Brad, and Josh. And you know what? I also owe one to Adrian Hope, one of our newest members. I told him I was going to get it in the mail on Monday, And I sure have forgotten with everything that's been going on this week. Even though I'm on leave, I've been getting phone calls non-stop from work. And it's just been like, why did I even take leave at this point? I went into the office yesterday for a little bit, 2 hours, drug my wife with me. I'm going to go in the office for probably 2 or 3 hours tomorrow as well. So what was really the point in taking leave, right? Yeah, I need to get you guys some stuff. You guys got to just let me know what size t-shirts and hats you would need. Flex fit hats, and then t-shirts, and I got you. And Eric says typical leave. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hey, so because we got the VRV on tonight, let me talk about them for a little bit. So I had the opportunity to be on 2 VRV functions over this past week since we did our last broadcast. I was the special guest on the happy hour that they do on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock East Coast time. I got to pitch the FSA to quite a few people, and the person I just mentioned, Adrian Hope, has joined the FSA because of that, and he is trying to get an entire group of people that he plays into this awesome league called the MGM 2020 that has 80 people in it right now, and they have decided to put a pause on their league for the season, so he has reached out to that group to try to see if he can get them moved over into our group. How awesome would it be if we could sign a couple of those guys? So I wanted to thank Justin Clark from the VRV for having me on for the happy hour, and all of the connections that I've made since I've been over there. Sticker company, shaving company, a syrup company, all of which could possibly end up being sponsors for us. Some people that can help us do our events that we keep talking about doing, preseason, in-season, and postseason events. Great people there as well. In fact, one of those groups, I'm actually working on doing jerseys for them, for their companies, on top of doing the FSA jerseys now that we're into that business, which we're going to talk about here after the next mention. So I said there was 2 things that I got to do with VRV this past week. So the second one was I got to do a podcast with Justin Clark, who is the owner of VRV, and it's out there on all of the podcast places that you can find them on, just like on Anchor, the same as Empty Wagon. So go out and download that. So it's just Justin and I BSing for an hour and some minutes. We haven't done it since like April of last year. I think we mentioned it on the show a couple times. Really, really great to see how far we've come together. And how much he's helped me out, introduced me to all of those great people that I just mentioned, from the happy hour to the Empty Wagon guys. It's just been super awesome to be a part of the VRV. So if you get a chance to, go out to the Facebook page, watch the happy hour broadcast from last week that was recorded, and then also go out and find the VRV, Veterans Referring Veterans, if you didn't know what VRV stood for, and look for their podcast and listen to the one that we did with him last week as well. Super awesome on both fronts. Let me see what I get caught up on here. Ordered myself a hoodie and a few tees from the Evil Empire. Kevin, let me know what they look like when they get in. Please take pictures of them and share with us. That would be awesome. Jason says, told you he doesn't know how to work. I'm really trying not to work. I'm trying to focus on FSA stuff while I'm on leave, but the Army is making that very hard right now. Yeah, Chris says he wishes these places delivered over there with having to chop my arm off for fees and taxes to get it over here. Chris, maybe we could find a workaround around that. You know, have we ever really looked at having it shipped to me and then me shipping it over to you? Would that make much of a difference, you think? Maybe we should look into that and see what that is. Then maybe we can get some of your stuff, the 1863 Ramblers and any of your Dynasty teams, shipped here to the house, and then I ship over to you. So we'll have to see what that looks like. And then, yeah, we've definitely got some new merch in the works through Finger Lakes Mercantile and Brandon Gums. He's working on some things for us. But those things he's working on are requiring me to do some graphic work. So I know Brandon lays down the law when it comes to me. So I got to make sure that I'm getting that stuff done for him. So Brandon, yeah, keep cracking the whip on me, brother. So, hey, we've been talking about jerseys for quite a while now. So let's tell you what's going on with the jersey front for FSA. So I went over and talked to Hometown Sports, which is the local jersey company that we are working with today. We finally figured out what we're going to do for our first run of jerseys so you all can see what they look like, right? So we originally said that we were going to do blackout jerseys, probably the simplest thing that we can do for everybody. And we had even showed everybody what some of those blackout logos would look like, just a straight white logo on the black jersey. So we have 2 different types of jersey. I can give you the link sometimes if you want to. Reach out to me, let me know. But once we get the jerseys in, we'll be able to show it to you live. Just a straight black jersey. Russell Athletic jersey, nothing else on it. It's going to be the first one. It's going to have a team name across the front. It's going to have the number on the front. It's going to have the FSA logo here up on the chest on the upper left-hand side. On the back, it's going to have your team name or your last name and the big number on the back of that as well. And then it's going to have your logo on the sleeves. And then on that particular jersey, we'll have your jersey number up on the top of the shoulders. That is one of the blackout jerseys. The second blackout jersey is an all-black jersey that's going to have this white piping that goes through here and then white cuffs on the sleeve. It's got a little bit of elastic into the sleeve on that one. It's not a lineman type elastic, but it does have a little bit of elastic on it. If you're thinking about getting one of these jerseys, I recommend getting one size up than what you would normally wear in your jerseys. I put a large on today and it was a little snug, so I will definitely be going extra large with my jerseys. Those two jerseys that I just mentioned, I am getting both of those done with the Monarch brand put on it so you all can see what that looks like. After we get that done, we're going to have two other jerseys made, one for Heather Newman and her She-Devils and one for MJ Cooley and her Southern Sirens. So have them look a little bit different so you all can see the different styles. Then we're going to put it all together so you all can start ordering. We'll get you the price quote once Hometown Sports gets me the price quote, and we'll go from there, and we'll be in the jersey business for you all. So I'd say probably about the time the season starts, or maybe within the week after the season starts, we will be able to start taking orders for jerseys for you all. And we also will have different color schemes for you as well. Even though we are doing the blackout jerseys right now, I think that between the solid color jersey and the one with the piping on it, there will be like 14 different variations in solid jerseys and about 14 different variations with the piping. So you'll get whatever team color you like for your team, and we'll just make it work from there. And I'm really excited about it for you all. Can't wait for you to see it. Let's see. Still have to pay taxes and stuff. Think it would cost like $20 to $30 an item. Let's look into it. You know what? We might even be able to go real crazy with it, depending on where you're at, right? And I know it's pretty easy for people to be able to drive to get to you once they're in the Europe area, depending on where you're at. I do have friends that are stationed over there right now in countries that can't be that far away from you, that maybe we can do it through the military post office and then get it to you that way. I mean, there's got to be a way around it, man. You said you'd love a Freeze jersey for sure. We'll see what we can do about making an all-white jersey. So for you, Chris, probably the best thing that we can do is get you a sublimated jersey, which is going to probably be the top-of-the-line jerseys when we get ready to do it. The ones that I am doing for the blackout jerseys right now are going to be heat press. The sublimated ones, kind of like what just came from Hopco Sports, is probably going to be the Cadillac jersey for us. And I got to figure out what that's going to look like from Hometown Sports to be able to make that happen. But getting that white jersey with that stuff on it would look really, really super good for you. Then what we can figure out from there is, can I ship it from here through military mail to a friend over there that they can ship it to you from there? Maybe we save a little bit of money that way. So we'll have to see what that looks like, man. But I'm willing to work with it to make sure that you get your jersey. So we kind of scratched on the surface. Let's see. Damien says, any ideas why have with FSA redraft that the league does pull the plug early? Okay, so I kind of mentioned this on the GroupMe chat the other day. So let's say they go ahead and pull the plug even before the season starts, right? Like I said, if you want your money back, we'll gladly give you your money back. If you would like to carry the money over until 2021, we will hold on to that money for you as well, and you're guaranteed a spot for 2021. There is still a number of weeks that we're looking into how far will the NFL play before we consider that a full season and we start paying out the league funds for winners and stuff like that. And what does it look like if the league is shortened, because we're supposed to be playing a head-to-head schedule? So a couple thoughts that I have right now. The numbers that are kind of bouncing around in my head is we make it to week 6 or we make it to week 7. We consider that a full season. We will play the head-to-head schedule up until then. However, to be able to do the payouts, we would do it based on total points for the year. And what that's going to probably break down and look like is we would take the top team from each one of the regions. Those would be the ones that would be put on the ladder, and then we would basically rank them from 1st to 8th based on that, and that's how we would do the payout based on however many teams we got. And then we'll have to talk to our sponsors to see what they want to do from the bowl perspective of that. But like I said, it's going to probably be week 6 or 7. It's kind of sticking in my head right now. Haven't made the full determination of what that's going to be yet. Let's get all of our members in first, which membership closes on the 16th of August, which is a great segue into membership right now. Thank you, Damien. So let's get our full members. Right now we're sitting at 56. We had talked the other day on GroupMe about trying to do this in groups of 10 or 12. We get 60 people. We can do 5 12s or 6 10s. My preference would be 6 10s if we were going to do that. If we were going to go above 60, I would like to make it all the way to 70 so we can do 7 10s. Or even 72 so we could do 6 12s. But right now we're sitting at 56. So if you have friends, family, coworkers, get them to join. I am still working on some of those legacy members that have been with us for years to try to get them to sign up. So hopefully we'll get that number bumped to the right a little bit. It is the 12th. We've got 4 or 5 more days before we hit the 16th. We'll be hitting people like crazy to make sure they get signed up. And once we get everybody signed up, that way everybody is hearing the message at the same time who would be playing for the year. Then we'll put whatever that number is out there. So Damien says whether it lasts 4, 6, 8 weeks and so on. So that's pretty much what it's going to look like right now. If it is shorter than that 6 or 7 week mark that I'm looking at right now, we won't count that as a season. We'll ask you if you want your money back or if you would like to carry it over for 2021. But if we hit that 6, 7, maybe even 8 week mark, which would put us at 50% of the games that they would play, and then they decide to pull the plug, we'd consider that a full season. Then we'll probably base it on total points at that point, not record, and then we'll figure out what that payout's going to look like. But a lot to think about over the weekend as we're pushing to get those final members signed up as well. But we'll let everybody know. Chris says, League won't pull the plug ever, in my opinion. It would cost way too much, and they would lose way too much money on top. Just not worth doing. They'd be better do what the basketball has and completely shut off from the world. Yeah, the unfortunate part I think about that is it is tougher for the NFL to play in a bubble than it is the NBA, just for the sheer number of players that are on a team. So where the NBAs only have 14 players per team, and I think that includes the guys that are sitting on the bench, the NFL has 53 on the roster on game day, so a whole lot more people. And you got to remember, they've got the practice squads and all of that other stuff that go along with that. A lot tougher to do bubbles for that. You remember, they've got 32 teams. NBA's only got 30. You got that additional people, all of the coaches and stuff like that. Much tougher on an NFL level than it is on an NBA level. Yes, Damien, so I know you guys' concern the other day when we talked on GroupMe that you don't want to have any 8-team leagues. Well, let me tell you what an 8-team league looks like in FSA. We have done it before. The very first year that I think we had 56 teams, and then we went to 64, we did it in 8s. The reason we did it in 8s, and the way we try to make that up, because I know 8s is not ideal. Everybody has all-star teams at that point, right? So that's when we introduced the 2 quarterback start leagues, was when we had 8. And we only usually do it when we have 8. So that's why we did that. Yes, I would much rather do 10s or 12s. I mean, I had my heart set on 96 teams this year, so we were going to do the 8 12s. I don't know if we're going to be able to reach that number. That's 40 more teams than what we've got right now to be able to reach that number. So I would definitely want to work for 10s or 12s, especially this year since we're not doing the 2 quarterback and we're doing a super flex. Kind of the same thing, but I would still rather have 10s and 12s as well. Yeah, Eric says the same thing. 12 teams would be his preference as well. So that's all going to depend on how many people we get in this. So the only way we can get the multiple of 12 at this point is if we did the 5 12s at 60, but then that makes for a weird playoff if we do get to a playoff stance. I would rather do 6 12s if we were going to do it. So that means we got to get all the way up to 72, which means 16 more teams at this point. So that's 4 teams a day for the next 4 days. So if you all can help me push, I would love to be able to do 6 12s as well. That's a great number to be able to work with for the year. So we will be back next week, this time on the 19th of August. We will know where we're at with our membership count at that point, and we'll know kind of what the season is going to look like, and we'll be able to break down the regions and what they're going to look like. I could give you the number count right now if you would like. I think I just did it on GroupMe the other day. We will do the kind of announce which regions are going to be on what day for the draft selection show, whether that's on Saturday or Sunday of the 22nd or 23rd. And then depending on what day your draft selection show is on, if it's on Saturday the 22nd, you will be drafting on the 29th, and if your draft selection shows the 23rd, you'll be drafting on the 30th. That will give you 1 week to prep, knowing what position you're drafting from, to do any mock drafting that you want to do and stuff like that, and then you'll be drafting the following week on that Saturday and Sunday. Time still to be determined. I know I got a couple people that are trying to hit me up on the group me to figure out what that's going to look like so they can plan their day and plan other drafts around it. We're going to let you know as soon as we know, and it's really going to be based on the number of teams that we get. In conjunction with the number of teams we got, when we break down the region, it's going to be like, what does the schedule look like in region play, possible out region play, what do the playoffs look like, what do the bowl games look like. So a lot hinders on what that number is going to be for the year. So boom, there it is. 2 quarterback with 8 to 10 would be all right. You already have a draft on the 29th. That's, you know what? Then I will absolutely make sure, Chris, that your draft is on the 29th in FSA, so you have to auto draft. Just kidding. Yeah, so I was hoping that you would catch that, Eric. So if you guys didn't know, and I said a little at the beginning that the Empty Wagon guys talked this week, kind of poking fun at the FSA a little bit about the QB54 Arm and Leg League, about doing fullbacks and IDP leagues. That's why we titled the show this week, Fullbacks and IDP Leagues. I promise you, we will never do a fullback and IDP league. Not by themselves, at least. Fullback's probably never a position for us. We have played around with the idea of IDPs. I think, in fact, one year we even did it back when I was still doing things by hand, but we have not done one of those in a while. I still play in one every single year with Matt Kroll, who is a member of FSA, and his league, the Meathead League, but it confuses the heck out of me, and I'm not very good at it, so I don't know if that would ever be an introduction thing that we would do in the FSA or not. Oh, that's true. We won't draft at the same time as you over there unless we decide to do it at like dark 30 in the morning because you're so far in the future from us. But it really is only 5 hours in the future, I think, is where you're at from the East Coast time. So we could still make it happen if I really wanted to make sure that you were auto-drafting in the FSA. I'm sure I could play that game with you if you want. But I wouldn't do that to you, brother. So make sure you're back here next week. All the answers that you need at that point will be here, but you'll all probably get an email by then as well as what it's going to look like for the regional breakdown, what the draft selection shows are going to look like, what the draft dates and times are going to be. So make sure you're here. That will be the bulk of the show next week. Be interested to see what Brett does for the draft. He's going to have a half a week. Yeah, you know what? I have to really consider that, and if you guys don't know what Chris is talking about when you see this comment later on, Brett is our member that is out in Australia. It's going to be very interesting in what we do for him because he is being lumped up underneath the Euro region right now, and Chris, really, the numbers are looking like him being with the Euro League and the entire Euro League is probably going to be lumped up with the New England region here. So I've got to make it make sense for the New England region on this side, which could put you, Matt, who's out there in Greece right now, and then Brett that's out there in Australia. That could put you guys in a bad spot. I don't know yet, but I'm going to try to make it as friendly as I can for all of you, even though it's going to be stretched across that many time zones. YouTube channel. We've picked up quite a few more people on the YouTube channel over the last couple of weeks. I think it's because of us pushing hard here and then us talking on the happy hour with VRV. So we are up to 55 now. Still looking to make it all the way to 100. So we can get our custom YouTube channel name. We have 56 members in the league right now. That's on the redraft side. So if everybody in the redraft league signed up, we should at least have 56. We should have one more that's on that number. So if you're listening to this right now, watching this right now, and you're already not following us on the YouTube channel, go over, type in Fantasy Sports Alliance, look for the one that has 55 subscribers on it, subscribe to it, shut the alerts off. That way you're subscribed to it. Let us get it to our 100. That way we can get our custom YouTube channel name, and we can start doing some lives over there instead of doing them all on Facebook like we are right now. Yeah, I don't remember when did we end up having you draft last year? What time was it, Chris? Do you remember? I honestly don't remember what time it ended up being for you with the time zone breakage between us and you. So let me know that. And then, let's see, last year, yeah, we've been here for a year now. So we were actually on East Coast whenever you drafted last year. Year prior, though, we were in Central Time Zone when we were in Texas. So I don't remember what that looked like for you. Hey, add us on all the social media, not just on the YouTube channel. Look at all that stuff down there. Make sure you add us on all of those things. If you're already not following us, please do that. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And thank you to all of our sponsors. QB54, who was our arm and leg sponsor this year. We're up to 20 teams in the QB54 arm and leg. 2 groups of 10 there would be awesome. Thank you to Football Darts for being the broadcast sponsor. Nature Coast Tailgating for sponsoring the World Championship Bowl game this year. Finger Lakes Mercantile for all of the work that they're doing on all of our new merchandise that we're going to be putting out here sometime soon. Cranky Veteran Candle Company and the sponsorship of a bowl game for us this year. Southern Siren Sugar Scrub bowl game sponsor this year. Deep South Creations bowl game sponsor this year, along with Finger Lakes Mercantile, along with all of the other things that Brandon's doing with us. And then, of course, the Recast and Mondo and the boys. They are the official music of the FSA. And like I said, if you like tonight's show, make sure you go out and like and subscribe to us and all of the places that you can do that. We would very much appreciate it. And we can't wait to have you back here next week so we can tell you all of the announcement of what the league's going to look like once we get all our membership closed out on the 16th of August. 16th of August, membership does close. We'll carry it all the way out till midnight East Coast time. Heck, we might even carry it out to midnight West Coast time. Actually, let's carry it all the way out to midnight Alaska time, Brad. You have to let me know what time that is for you. For us on East Coast, I don't know if that's 5 or 6 hours difference. For us, we'll carry it all the way out. That way, everybody all the way out to Alaska and Hawaii have the opportunity to sign up on the 16th. And then we'll be back on the 19th to give you the rundown of what the season's going to look like. So thank you for watching the Fanatically Real broadcast, sponsored by Football Darts and Fantasy Sports Alliance. Let me see if I caught anybody else. I was in New England last year. I mean, yeah, you were in New England last year. You're going to be in New England again this year, so I don't know what that's going to look like to you. Yep. So, yeah, I guess I'll tell you what. You'll know what it'll look like here coming up soon. A week from today, we'll be able to work that all out with you. We'll get the draft selection show set up. We'll get the draft set up for you. All that good, happy stuff. So, hey, knock on wood, even though this isn't real wood, we had absolutely 0 dropped frames tonight. So I hope the show was awesome this week compared to last week. That makes me happy. We are out of here for the week. Happy birthday, Leighton. Thank you for joining me on the show tonight. You all have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. I'll hit you all up on GroupMe from my office tomorrow while I'm in uniform, while I'm on leave. And we'll see you all next week. You all have a great evening.